Hi everybody, Craig here. 4th of January. I've started planning part 2 of the novel this morning, so Act 4.1. And as I start to put down words and start to plan it a bit more, I'm realizing that I don't have as much of an idea about exactly what's going to happen scene by scene in this part of the novel as I did in the first part. And while in the first part of the novel I really only had the opening worked out, the rest, I guess, came as it went, and I have the start of part 2 worked out, but I think I'm just realizing that there's a lot of spaces that I haven't filled in yet, that when I was doing the planning in terms of the single sentence outlines that I was doing for each act in part 2 of the novel, I have a lot of gaps there in terms of content to be filled in. So what I did this morning was sat down and planned as much as I knew for Act 4.1, and a lot of the stuff when I thought about it this morning was new things that I hadn't considered previously. So things that were informed by what happened at the end of part 1 in the novel, things I know now about the characters that I didn't know previously. So that sort of things is great. I've also, in that gap space where I am, I've been looking through art as I do, for things that inspire the sort of scenery, the environments, the different capacity for action and movement and events that will take place in those spaces. I've been actually reading through this landscapes book, John Berger, writing about a landscape art and his reflections on some of those things, because this part of the novel is not set in the same sort of space that part 1 is. It's a different environment that this book is lending itself well to, and particularly there's a story, a bit of a memoir recount in the book that John Berger wrote that I have been thinking about recently, and I was thinking about it a long time ago in terms of the particular style of non-fiction writing that I really enjoy, that he sort of captures very well in that particular piece. But there's certainly a sense of space and colour and dialogue and structure to that piece that I really like, and I'd like to sort of channel that into what I'm able to write here, using both the landscape and the feeling and the style of writing. So yeah, those are the sorts of things I've been thinking, sort of just, and I guess not wanting to rush things. I mean, I haven't finished planning Act 1, or Act 4.1, whereas the other mornings I'd been finishing an act each time. I got about halfway this morning, so in the 5 scenes that comprise Act 4.1, I got midway through scene 3, and then I sort of stopped myself there because I thought if I keep going, I'm going to rush planning something that I don't fully understand yet. So I need to just spend a little more time to let it gestate in the mind and let it grow into some new things and get some ideas that I'll then be able to go back in and build up more of Act 4.1. And I know that once I've got that in a particular space, the rest of the acts to follow are going to be much more readily accessible, in that the ideas will sort of flow into the next. I've just got to knock this first domino over, and at the moment it's a domino that I think is not fully built yet, so I've got to build it and be inspired by things to put in there, work out a bit more about the world that this part 2 of the novel is inhabiting, and the 2 protagonists, what their sense of reality is and what their relationship to each other is, and how that's going to dictate things moving forward. So it's good, it's exciting, there's lots of room for experimentation, and I really like some of the things that I'm thinking now about that part that I wasn't thinking previously. So it's moving in the right direction. I just the map is a bit foggy, and I'm going to clear that out with more thinking. So I'll leave it there for this morning. When I talk to you next, I'll probably have planned more of Act 4.1, and I might have a better sense of where things are going to go from there. So hope you have a good day, and I'll chat to you soon.